Friday night and I'm riding solo. When I touch down, keep it on the low low. I don't mess with your energy. No photos. So antisocial, but I don't care. Don't give a damn, I'm gonna smoke here. Got a bottle in my hand, bring more though. Got my hat low, don't talk to me. I've been down, give me some space. You don't know what's in my brain. Music loud, easing my pain. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. I came to vibe, yeah. On something, on something, on something. I wanna buy it. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. I came to vibe, yeah. Won't let nothing come in between me and the night. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. I came to vibe, yeah. On something, on something, on something. I wanna buy it. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. I came to vibe, yeah. Won't let nothing come in between me and the night.
I need room. Where you standing way too close, you might catch fumes. When I zoom. Pass out, wake up by myself, or right past noon, then I'm doomed. Hennessy drowning all of my issues. Right before I leave, she give me more than just submission. That thing got more back just like my engine, I can't hit it. Seen a vision in a boy, then we committed. I've been lost out in a space. You left me right in my place. I put you down on my name.
Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. I came to vibe, yeah. On something, on something, on something. I wanna buy it. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. I came to vibe, yeah. Won't let nothing come in between me and the night. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. I came to vibe, yeah. On something, on something, on something. I wanna buy it. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. I came to vibe, yeah. Won't let nothing come in between me and the night. Well, I've been on for 1,000 nights. New York to London, different city every day, yeah. Playing on, putting up 50,000 lights. Well, I've been gone so long, getting up and getting faded. So I'm on, keeping on, staying up for 1,000 nights.
This the type of shit we used to dream of. Bad bitch look like Mona Lisa. Flipping off a yacht in Ibiza. Clearport, hasta la vista. Do it all again when we touch down. Everything busts down. Teacher said I would lose. I be like, what now? I started making moves. They showing me love now. Look like a light bug. Picturing a plug now. And now you know we poppin'. We bubble like soda poppin'. I see it, I like it. I wake up, pull up, and go and cop it. The millions get wired. The Benny Hundreds still go in pocket. I party with Ed Sheeran. My homies still hold the rocket. Cause I'm so hood. It don't make no sense. Still remember the times I couldn't pay my rent. Now I walk in the stadium, tell them play my shit. And they gon' sing like this.
Well, I've been on for 1,000 nights. New York to London, different city every day, yeah. Playing on, putting up 50,000 lights. Well, I've been gone so long, getting up and getting faded. So I'm on, keeping on, staying up for 1,000 nights. Not I played a show at a stadium in Atlanta.
Check 1 2.
Daddies and daughters with the cameras. I never thought it would get this big, but what does it matter? Everything is already part of a plan. I remember damn, me and my man inside of a split van. 200 a night into 2010. Staying up in every city's holiday inn. If it wasn't there, then I was at the couch with friends, where the spoons was an easy option to get a cheaper luncheon. £2 pint, the waitress maybe leave a number. On to the next town, but now it's to the next continent. Woo! And I don't think it's gonna be stopping anytime soon. Bird's eye view, pay my dues for a 2-mile queue. Don't need to read reviews if you can't do the things I do. Let me invite you to my world. I've been on for 1,000 nights.
Democratic Republic of Sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene. A Democratic Republic of Sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy. It is Friday morning. It is a difficult day for many Americans. 9/11, 19 years ago today, we all remember where we were and what happened up in New York City with the attacks on America. I know today is a very difficult day for many Americans, and our thoughts and prayers go out to all of you who are dealing with it at this time. We're all in the same boat. We all will never forget what happened on 9/11 in 2001. It's a tough day. But thankfully here in the Sportsocracy, we have football. And last night, the NFL season got kicked off with the Kansas City Chiefs beating the Houston Texans 34-20. Wasn't quite the blowout you expected there, Jeremy.
Yeah, it was. They scored 2 touchdowns in the last 5 minutes. They were down by 30.
Mm-hmm.
This was 100% the blowout I thought it was.
It was never in doubt, obviously. The game was never in doubt, but 34-20 final score. And man, what a bad beat for some people in the world of Vegas.
Oh.
Holy cow. The story that I saw this morning was one guy, and I think it's multiple guys, lost 6 figures last night on the over-under of that ball game and the weird ending that took place in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, bad beats are fun. And last night was one of the worst ones I've ever seen. I would have gone 5-0. That illustrious 5-0 I've been looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Except Kansas City decided to return an onside kick 35 yards. Good for you guys. Thanks. That field goal really helped everybody. All felt real good about that.
BetMGM said that there was a $100,000 bet that they had on the under of that game, which was at 53.5.
Yeah, here's the thing. With 8 minutes to go, we were sitting at 44. You need 2 scores. 2 for this to not work. And then bad things happen.
Yep. And you got them. And weirder still, I think, when the Houston Texans scored to make it a 12-point ball game, I guess many people thought that they should have gone for 2 in that scenario, and the extra point was the thing that killed it. Like they got the extra point, and that was the point that sunk. At least 3, I think Jeremy told me, $100,000 bets on the under.
Yeah, the under was the right call. Garbage time, this is why they call it gambling, because this game was never in doubt.
Yes.
I mean, from the first quarter on, I don't think anybody ever went, well, they might come back. No. Because the Texans, here's my first sweeping declaration of the NFL season. The Houston Texans are awful. I have another one coming in a minute.
They're awful.
Yeah, they're terrible. That offensive line may get Deshaun Watson killed.
Yes, I agree with
because
that.
either Frank Clark smoked meth before that game or that line blows.
The line is not great. I thought the line would be a lot better with Titus Howard and Larry Tunsil, but last night they proved that they cannot stand up against an elite pass rush like the Kansas City Chiefs, and they very well may get Deshaun Watson killed. I mean, as the game started out, I started checking off the boxes of, our interpretations or our predictions about how this game was going to go. Like, Deshaun Watson's running for his life, check. Receivers are dropping passes, check.
Yeah, anybody that was shocked that Kenny Stills and Will Fuller couldn't catch a pass obviously have never watched either one of them play football.
Right. The one surprise of the game, for me anyway, was Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He ended up with a great stat line for his first game. 25 carries, 134 yards, and a touchdown.
Here's sweeping declaration number 2. I didn't think he was good.
At all?
I think that offense is good. I think he got a lot of opportunity against a bad defense.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many carries he had inside the 5-yard line last night?
It was a bunch.
7. It was 7. You know how many of those gained a centimeter?
Oh, maybe one.
One. He can't run between the guards.
Mm-hmm.
Can't. And everybody's going to say, oh, there were D tackles there, and the line wasn't protected for him. I don't care. He can't make anybody miss. The perk of him was that he was this between the tackles guy that can grind it out on the goal line. Mm-hmm. No, he's not. Flat out, no, he's not. He will be good as a pass catcher. He will be good in space. But in terms of that role that everybody's the role that if he was going to be a fantasy relevant first round pick, the role he was going to have, he can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that in one game.
Yeah.
I learned that in one carry, if you want me to be real honest with you.
When you're that small, you need to be a battering ram. When you're built like that, when you're 5'8" and you're 205 pounds or whatever he is, you need to be a battering ram. And he's not that. He's not a powerful runner.
He's trying to tow a tow a trailer with a Kia, because he's not big. Mm-hmm. He's thick, but he's not real big, and he's not that fast. He's very shifty. I will give him that. He's a lot shiftier than I thought he was.
Yeah.
Or than I thought he would be in the NFL. I saw his tape in college, obviously, but I didn't think that would translate. He made some plays, and in space against a safety or in space against a linebacker, he'll be fine.
Yes.
It's defensive linemen that are going to screw him up all year long.
I mean, that 27-yard touchdown run that he had was pretty impressive, but
I could have driven a car through the Holy Rams room.
right.
And not a little car either.
Mm-hmm.
It was insane. I was not overly impressed with Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Right. But it is a pretty impressive stat line for you to throw up 138 yards in your first NFL action. I mean, as I was sitting down watching that game, the thing that I kept thinking about was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I was sitting in a hotel room in the Dominican Republic watching the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots on Thursday Night Football, the opening game of the season. And do you remember what happened in that game? Kareem Hunt introduced himself to the world.
I do.
Kareem Hunt scored 3 touchdowns in that ball game, and everybody immediately went, "Oh my God!"
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. I mean, I guess it was just the pageantry and the fact that the Chiefs were involved in the first game of the season again that I remembered that, and I thought, I wonder if Clyde Edwards-Helaire can do that. And I think some people walked away from that game last night thinking he did. And I disagree. I don't think to me anyway, he didn't come off as, "Oh my God, this guy is amazing."
No.
It was fine.
It was he
was a good
he had
start.
25 carries,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't think is going to be a consistent for him.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot more Darrell Williams than I thought there would be. In all honesty.
Yep.
He played a great deal more than I thought he would.
That was one of the other boxes that I checked because we had brought up routinely everybody's taking Clyde Edwards-Helaire in their fantasy drafts in the first round, somewhere in the window of 6 to 9 in the first round, and we always threw out that stat about Andy Reid and not using a running back, as a workhorse. And as soon as I saw Darrell Williams come in, time after time, I was like, "Yep, that's another box checked."
Yeah, I need Andy Reid to stop wearing that stupid face shield too. Like bad. That thing, he needed a windshield wiper for that thing really bad.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. Yeah, I think he's gonna have to figure something else out.
Yeah, don't
because
do that.
constantly he's like having to wipe the window. You can draw a little smiley face on it.
I don't know who the first was, but I saw this 1,000 times. The first person that took the little "It's raining" and Kermit the Frog's got his hand on the window and said, "Pat Mahomes talking to Andy Reid right now." Good for you.
I don't think the face shield actually worked out the way Andy Reid wanted it to. It sounded good in theory, but the execution was just a little off.
Yeah, don't wear those. It's ridiculous.
Anything else from last night's game that you picked out?
Whoever the number 2 receiver is against the Houston Texans, you should play them in fantasy all year long because Vernon Hargreaves sucks something awful. That whole side was just a sieve.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Holt said one of his takeaways was DeMarcus Robinson. It shouldn't be. It should be. Think about how big of a game Sammy Watkins had, how big of a game DeMarcus Robinson had. You know what they all had in common? They were all on that side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes literally just stopped even looking at Tyreek Hill unless he was the number 1 option.
Right.
Like, I can just go here constantly. The Texans are every bit as bad as I thought they were. If they win, I won't be shocked if they go 5-11.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I say that's because they're in a division with the Jaguars.
Yeah. Sammy Watkins, I thought his big game last night was another box checked for me because I've been telling people who will listen that, Sammy Watkins is worth a late round flyer. And,
he is.
And he is.
And that's probably the biggest game he'll have all year.
You think so?
Probably.
I don't know. I feel like
Probably.
he's an undersold member of that team.
He is, but he's undersold because, I mean, really think about what happened last night. Mahomes went 24-32 for 211 yards.
Yep.
That's another reason that I'm not jumping up and down about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. How often do you think the Kansas City Chiefs will have more carries than pass attempts?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to happen a lot. I mean, Pat Mahomes was on autopilot for 2.5 quarters of that game. He just knew this is over.
Right.
It was 31-7 in the fourth quarter.
Right.
This was a blowout. It went exactly like I thought it would. Chiefs are real good. Texans are real bad.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know what they could do other than just work your way out the season and try to rebuild. This is where the Houston Texans are right now. They got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, David Johnson
That's another
was that
takeaway.
an impressive part?
David Johnson was good. David Johnson looked shifty. David Johnson looked good.
Mm-hmm.
David Johnson was getting virtually nothing blocked for him and still found a way to be productive.
Yeah.
Now, I think he's on a bit of a pitch count because he only got 11 carries.
Mm-hmm.
And Duke Johnson was way more involved than I thought he would be. But I was very impressed with David Johnson. David Johnson was the one that I was looking at last night going, I don't have him as many places as I wish I did.
Yeah. I was hoping that David Johnson would have a resurgence to his career with Houston Texans. He was one of my favorite players for a couple of years. And unfortunately, injuries happen, and whatever happened in Arizona last year, I guess he just wasn't fully recovered or whatever. He looked like a different player.
He did
to me last night.
That was the invigorating part to me, is that he looked like a guy that can be an elite bell cow running back.
Mm-hmm.
And in Houston, he's going to have to be because it's him and Duke Johnson. I need one of them to change their name. That D Johnson shit on the back of their jersey.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, because I couldn't remember which one was which.
Can we just put first names on the back? Can we just have one of them be David and one of them be Duke?
That's fine. I don't care.
Oh no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to give somebody that photo op of having David and Duke standing next to each other on the sidelines.
Oh yeah.
Probably wouldn't be a good look. Just didn't think about that one before I said it. So anyway, it was a good kickoff to the NFL season last night, Thursday night football, but Sunday is the big heavy.
Oh, can't wait.
We got 13 games on Sunday. We got 2 on Monday. It's going to be wall-to-wall football, and we are going to be here for it at the Social in East Asheville. Come on by and hang out with us. We're going to be here every Sunday throughout the football season, doing giveaways and all kinds of stuff. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it. We might have some trivia contests.
We're adding a new show.
That's right. We are
here on Sundays.
Right. We are going to
because apparently we sleep too much and don't do enough because we're here for you.
That's right. 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings, we are going to be doing our last minute fantasy update.
Fantasy, very gambling centric.
Mm-hmm.
This is the analysis of the game is going to come on this show on Fridays, where we're talking about what's going to happen in the games. The Sunday show, which I'm really looking forward to, we can take questions, fantasy football advice, gambling questions, all of the things.
Right. You got your stardom situm lineups ready for Sunday morning. Tune in right here at 10 a.m. and we will have all of your tips for the day, as well as, like Jeremy said, all of the gambling aspects as well. Over, under, spreads, all of it. We're going to be doing it live every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. And then throughout the week, through the football season, we're going to have various episodes that we'll be posting up of your, the recaps of the week before, things, who you need to pick up on the waiver wire this week.
The fantasy football show that we did last year, we're going to do it from here.
Yeah, the podcast.
So you can see our faces.
Right, the Fantasy Game Time Decisions podcast will be taken under the umbrella of the Sportsocracy, and you'll see it all with our beautiful faces, as you don't get enough of us already.
We're one show away from a camera guy just following us. Like, this is just what we do. Like, right. Here I am eating my eggs. Here I am brushing my teeth. Here I am driving my car. I think it's funny that I've done a stand-up bit for 8 years about this being the most over-documented society in the history of time, and there's probably not a soul in this county that's on camera more than I am. And you are, because you're with me.
Unless they actually work for a television station or something. Yeah.
Even then.
Even then?
Who?
I don't know.
The news isn't that long.
That's very true. Anyway, coming up this weekend in the NFL. All right, Jeremy, we'll start out. Raiders and the Panthers at 1 o'clock on Sunday. What's your key for the game?
How many points can the Las Vegas Raiders win this game by?
How many times is he going to do that throughout this season?
Oakland, yep. How many times do we call the Raiders the wrong name? How many times do we call the Chargers the wrong name? And how many times do we call the Washington football team the wrong name?
Exactly.
Because I'll give you a hint, it's going to be a bunch.
It is going to be a bunch. It is going to be a bunch. But the Raiders come to the Panthers, and I don't know. With the Carolina Panthers, I don't know what to expect from that offense. I don't know how good Teddy Bridgewater can be. I don't know.
He's a decent enough quarterback. I think they're going to put up. I don't believe much in the Raiders' defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Panthers are going to score points. The fact this is a 3-point spread blows my mind. If you told me this game was played 100 times, the Raiders are going to win at 99. Because the Panthers are bad. Bad.
I think they have the opportunity to outscore them.
I don't.
You don't think they have better weapons for the Panthers on the offensive side than the Raiders do on their offensive side?
I think the Raiders' defense is markedly better than Carolina's.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree.
I think Josh Jacobs is going to have a game. I think they're just going to salt this game away. If I had to pick it, I'm going to say Raiders 27-17.
27-17. Okay. I expect Christian McCaffrey to get his. I'll be interested to see this new offense.
I don't.
You think they'll be able to?
I think the fatal flaw of Carolina is going to be exposed. The beauty of Christian McCaffrey has been having quarterbacks that can beat you deep, because you can't stack the box against him. You can't do any of that. Mm-hmm. Well, now you can, because now you got Teddy Two Gloves that can't throw it from here to the wall. So, I mean, I think teams are going to stack the box against them and just dare you to beat them deep. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they can. I think Robbie Anderson, down the line, later in the season, I think having Robbie Anderson will give you the ability to beat teams deep. I don't think you can do it to start the year.
Yeah, you think about the Carolina Panthers and the situation that they're in. I mean, we've had an off season where nobody's been able to get in the practice and the reps that they need to. They have a brand new coaching staff, new head coach, new offensive coordinator. Their defensive coordinator has never coached in the NFL before. So you've got a lack of experience in the coaching staff. You've got, I think it's 8 new players on defense that are going to be a big problem. If consistency and
I've said consistency is going to rule the day for the first month of the season.
Right. If consistency and a team gelling together is going to be important to having success, I don't see any of that with the Carolina Panthers.
Think about last night. The Kansas City Chiefs are one of the most the continuity is better in Kansas City than it is on practically any team in the league. Mm-hmm. Look what they did last night. And I would say it was a B- to C+ game offensively for them, and they still dominated it.
Right.
The Texans, on the other hand, had a lot of turnover. Did you notice that it didn't look real smooth real often? You're going to see that a lot on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. The Atlanta Falcons will be at home against the Seattle Seahawks.
I have wanted to say this for 4 days.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite bets on the board this weekend.
Okay.
I'm taking the Falcons.
Seattle's a 2-point favorite, and he's taking the Falcons.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't think Seattle can score with them. I'm also taking the over. I don't even know what it is, and I don't care.
48.5.
Yep. That's fine enough for me.
Fine enough. Atlanta's got some troubles on the defensive side of the ball.
I think they both do.
Yeah.
Continuity. I'm going to say that word. That's going to be the new Roy Cooper drinking game. Every time Jeremy says the word continuity, you have to take a shot. And you will be plastered through the weekend. In spite of the fact we don't have a show on Saturday. Right. Like, you will still be so drunk from today and preparing to get drunk on Sunday.
How does one prepare to get drunk, Jeremy?
I mean, how do I do it?
Yeah.
I eat a nice carb-loaded meal.
Okay.
Get my brain right.
Okay.
I mean, that's how I do it, personally.
I think that's a bad way to go about it. You'll find if you don't.
Well, you're also 3 IPA Spencer.
I am indeed, and you know why? Because I don't eat a lot. It's on God's honest truth.
That's a thing he said.
God's honest truth.
He said that.
It's glandular. Fuck you. No, you don't eat anything, then you only need 2 beers to get drunk. That's my goal. That's how I save money when I go to the bar.
His bar tab for a night looks like what I have with breakfast.
Yes, it does indeed. Jeremy, actually one night I had asked Jeremy to pick up my tab, and he's like, yeah, sure, I'll get you no matter, no problem. And then the night was over, and he looked at me and he goes, did you drink anything? I was like, yeah, man, I had like 4 beers.
And it was that point that I realized he sounded like Otis from the Andy Griffith Show.
Yep.
Oh.
So anyway, Seattle and Atlanta. Seattle and Atlanta, they both have their issues. They both have gaps on the defensive side of the ball. I trust in the Atlanta offense. I think Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Todd Gurley, especially early in the year, I expect Gurley to be a force early. It's going to be, once we get down to week 7, week 8, whether or not those arthritic knees are going to be a problem. I don't think the lack of reps in the offseason is going to hurt Todd Gurley. If anything, it's going to help him.
I agree. Here's what I see with Seattle. What was their biggest problem last year? It's the biggest problem with the Seattle Seahawks last year.
Stopping the run? No.
They couldn't get to a quarterback to save their lives.
Oh,
they had the worst pass rush in the NFL. And you just lost Jadeveon Clowney.
Yep.
Do you think it got better?
No.
Really? And a team that has Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley and all these little toys, you look at that and go, Quentin Dunbar will stop Julio Jones? Okay. Falcons. Secret time? I don't think it's all that close.
Really?
I don't think they can score with them.
Mm-hmm.
The way you're going to have to beat Atlanta, it's the reason that I touted Matt Ryan in the preseason. It's the reason that I touted Julio Jones in the preseason. And Todd Gurley, I liked him better than other people did, is because they're going to have to outscore you because their defense is not great. I think Seattle's going to struggle.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that you've got a legitimate pass rusher in Atlanta now is interesting enough. It's not Vic Beasley anymore. Now it's Dante Fowler, who is a legitimate, can get after the quarterback pass rusher.
Yes.
Falcons.
The New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. Just turn this one off. Don't even tune in. I know you have to.
I saw a statistic that said that the money on this game was 60-40. Jets.
What?
And it made me think, I've been thinking that the whole time.
The Jets to keep it close, not to win.
Every year, okay, so let's play a fun game since I am a Jets fan. The best game the Jets have played in every season that Sam Darnold has been our quarterback has been what game?
Let me guess, Buffalo.
The first game.
Oh, the first game.
Detroit 2 years ago, Buffalo last year. For whatever reason, when Adam Gase has a full offseason to plan for a team, he tends to do it pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bills are going to struggle to score. I think it's going to be a lower score. What's the over-under on this game?
The over-under
I should probably just, pull that up.
39.5.
Tells you everything you need to know. The Bills are a 6.5-point favorite, and the over-under is 39. You know what that tells me? It's a bad line. One way or the other, it's a bad line. Because the Jets are going to score points. May not be a ton, but they're going to score some points.
I was going to say how. How do they score?
Well, they take a football, and somebody has it in their hands, and they cross the goal line. That's typically how you score points.
Oh, well, I understand. Thank you for breaking that down for me,
perfect.
Mr. Science.
Yeah. Bill Nye the Science Guy. What up?
No, my question is, how do they score? Because I don't believe in any of their offensive weapons outside of maybe Chris Herndon.
I like Chris Herndon a lot. If you're playing DraftKings, FanDuel, any of those things, Chris Herndon a lot. It's about the only Jet I like a lot.
He's
Jameson
the only
Crowder.
one. Well, yeah, just on sheer fact that he can catch 12 balls a game.
Adam Harris might have just won comment of the week.
What'd he say?
My smart ass explanation of how the Jets are going to score. He said it's impressive a Jet fan knows that. Doesn't happen a lot.
This is very true.
Kevin Vick, nice John Madden explanation. If a ball crosses the goal line, it's a touchdown. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
I'm going to take the Jets plus 6.5.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Bills to win. I'm going to take the over on 39.5.
Would you take the Jets in the money line?
No.
Okay.
I don't think we win this game. I think this game is way closer than people think it is.
All right.
If it was in New York, I would like us.
Mm-hmm.
If it was...
Well, I mean, technically it is in New York.
Fuck off. I knew as soon as that came out of my mouth.
Sorry, Mr. Science over here wants to be technical.
Yeah. If it was in New Jersey, I would probably pick the Jets. But I'm going to take the Bills.
All right, Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Two teams, one that a lot of people feel is a dark horse and one that people think is a dead horse.
A lot of people think it's a dark... who are these lot of people that think that the Detroit Lions are a dark horse?
I have heard a lot of people say
one. I've heard one, and it's this fat guy right here. But, I mean, if there's others, maybe we could have a party. Maybe we could have a Catalina wine mixer of people that think the Detroit Lions are not the worst team in this division.
See, when Jeremy says something, what I normally do is go, yeah, I think that's stupid, and discard it. And then when I hear somebody else say it, I go, oh, wow, there's two idiots in this bunch. Then when I start hearing 3 or 4 people say it that I respect, I go, okay, well, maybe Jeremy's onto something here. I have heard several people say that they think the Detroit Lions can have a really good season this year and be the dark horse in the NFC North. So I have come around to some people say that they're a dark horse. Nobody believes that about the Chicago Bears.
No, they're bad. They're a bad team. They're not going to be able to run. It's going to be on Mitch Trubisky, and when it's on Mitch Trubisky, bad shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Detroit Lions defense in all platforms this week. If you're a streaming defense kind of person, it's not a bad one.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be different in DraftKings or FanDuel, the Detroit Lions defense is a good one to have. I think they're going to harass Trubisky. I think the defense is going to be on the field a lot. I think the Lions run the ball better than you think they do, and I have absolutely no idea. I don't care if Kenny Golladay is 50%. I don't know who on that Chicago defense can stop him. Lions.
I'll fall in line with you there. Green Bay and Minnesota. This is a well-hyped first week game because a lot of people believe that the division is going to be decided between these two teams. So you got Green Bay coming out, Aaron Rodgers with the chip on his shoulder, Minnesota having, I mean, I'd call it 40% of a rebuild, at least. They lost a lot on the defensive side of the ball. They do have Yannick Ngakoue now, so that's going to cure some of their ills. But I don't know how that secondary responds after the pieces that they've lost. And Aaron Rodgers seems to be a guy that is, when all the chips are down and his back's against the wall, he turns into a rattlesnake, and he's going to come out firing on all cylinders. And I think this is going to be a big day for Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, kind of a statement game.
I agree. I am on record as saying I don't believe in Minnesota. I think the defense is not going to be as good as it was. Pass rush will be fine. Losing Danielle Hunter is going to be a pain in the ass. Danielle Hunter and Yannick Ngakoue is a wash. So all of the things that all of the hiccups that we had with Minnesota, they're back because Danielle Hunter's on IR. I'm taking Green Bay. I don't think this one's really all that close.
Yeah, Minnesota, by the way, a 2.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
In the game.
And that's not right.
Here's another one that I don't think is right. The New England Patriots are a 6.5-point favorite going up against the Miami Dolphins, and I think they lose this game.
I'm not willing to go that far.
Okay.
But I am willing to go this far. The Dolphins and the Patriots are way closer than you think they are. Cam Newton, I think, gets unveiled. I really do. The things that I've heard, that not from Bill Belichick, not from players in the building, not from Cam Newton, what I've heard from people that have physically seen it, media, beat writers, it's not good, and this is not going to be good. Don't fall for the James White trap. I understand he's one of the only living, breathing running backs on this team. I get it. He'll be fine. He's too expensive on all the daily sites to me. Mm-hmm. Miami does struggle at linebacker. Their linebacking core is not great. I may be changing my mind on. I may be sounding out James White in my head. I think New England wins. Miami covers.
Okay, 6.5-point favorite. New England Patriots. The reports that I've seen about Cam Newton and how bad he's been. in practices and the scrimmages that they've been doing. I get it, it's scrimmages, it's just practice. You can go Allen Iverson on me if you want to, but I don't believe in Cam Newton, and I don't believe in any of his weapons. He is a good quarterback, I have said before. I guess between the two of us, I have been the most Cam Newton apologist of the two.
Compared to me, that's not hard to be.
Agreed. But I think this is going to be a rude awakening for everybody who thinks that the New England Patriots are still a threat in this division and somehow on the league scale as a whole. I think Sunday is going to be a rude awakening for them.
I agree.
I really do. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington football team. Philadelphia is only a 5-point favorite, and I don't think that's nearly enough.
This feels like a trap game to me. This feels like one of those games that I'm going to be really dogmatic that you're right and the Eagles should be more of a favorite, and I'm going to be wrong. I'm taking the Eagles. I'll tell you who I'm taking in the line on Sunday. I got to think about it way more than I have.
The Philadelphia Eagles, to me, Washington, again, new coach, Dwayne Haskins has been a train wreck to me at quarterback. I don't think that. What, you disagree? You think he's been fine?
He hasn't been a train wreck.
I mean, to be a first round draft pick at quarterback, a guy who's supposed to change I think that's train wreck territory.
Rookie. He was a rookie on a team that had nothing.
Mm-hmm. But you look at him and you go, he could be a successful NFL quarterback. I don't.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
I didn't think
he started 7 games last year. And you're to the train wreck territory.
I am.
I'm not. Does he have a number 1 receiver?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that somebody that was taken in like the top 5? No, that was a rookie too. He made a rookie a number 1 receiver. And I like Gandy Golden and I like Steven Sims better than most.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to run it? I don't know. But I think more of Washington than you do. I'm not saying they're great. I'm not by any stretch saying that. I think they're further along than you think they are.
I think the Philadelphia Eagles have a lot to prove, and I think again this is statement time. Week 1 is statement time, and I think Carson Wentz probably has a chip bigger on his shoulder than anybody else right now. I mean, to me this is a sort of a make or break year on how a lot of people are going to feel about Carson Wentz moving forward. A lot of people have already checked out on him because of the injury issues.
Not me. My struggle with him is the weapons are not good. Mm-hmm. And you've got Zach Ertz that's in the media talking about extensions, and I don't know if they want me here, and that bothers me.
But am I wrong? Is he not one of the guys who has the most pressure on him this year in the NFL?
I don't think so.
Really?
Not to me.
I think
what are they going to do?
I think he's on a short list. I think he's on a short list with him and Aaron Rodgers and Cam Newton and Baker Mayfield especially. I think those guys have a lot of pressure on them, and there's some I expect to stand up.
The fact you just put Carson Wentz in the same category with Baker Mayfield is you almost convinced me, and then you said BakerMayfield, and I went, oh yeah, that's no, not that way.
I think you're out of your mind if you can't agree with Baker Mayfield has a lot to do.
No, you didn't hear what I just said. Let me say it again. Well, it's slower this time. Baker Mayfield is on the shortest leash of any quarterback in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Carson Wentz is not close to that. Not even close.
No.
Exactly. That's got a case in point. You're talking about the most to prove. He has a Super Bowl ring. I know he didn't win it. He got the team there. When he's healthy, he's fine. The only concern that I have with Carson Wentz is health. That's it. Baker Mayfield sucks. They don't belong in the same sentence.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield is a terrible NFL quarterback. Just exactly like I said he would be. Mm-hmm. And he blocked me on Twitter, so I can't tell him that anymore, which really pisses me off.
You can subtweet him. Subtweet him all you want to. Indianapolis and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Indianapolis is 7-point favorite in this ball game.
There's not much here. It's Colts.
Yep.
The thing to watch moving forward. The only reason you should watch 5 seconds of this game is how does Phillip Rivers work with the weapons that he's got. It's a good offensive line. I think they're going to run a lot. Mm-hmm. This is going to look very similar to San Diego back in the day, in my opinion. The other thing, who gets carries for the Jacksonville Jaguars? I know who I think it is. Report came out of their camp yesterday that said they're getting creative with how they're getting Laviska Shenault the ball.
Oh.
Huh. Weird.
That was a shocker. I think Indianapolis, I think Marlon Mack will be the star at running back for the first few weeks.
I don't. I think it's
Really?
about a 50-50 split.
You think so?
I think it'll be a 50-50 split all year.
I don't know.
Look, Marlon Mack's a free agent that's really talented.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just going to discard him like old garbage. If they were going to do that, they would have traded him.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do that. They're going to get use out of him, which is the reason I've said all offseason long, Marlon Mack's going too low, Jonathan Taylor's going too high.
I think I think when we talk about consistency, I think they will rely on the veteran more early in the season and sort of ease Jonathan Taylor.
He's going to be in passing down situations as long as the game's close. I think Jonathan Taylor could be the grinded away guy. Taylor's stat line might look good, but if you look at the snap count, I think it's going to look really close.
Are you shocked that the Baltimore Ravens are only a 7.5-point favorite over the Cleveland Browns?
No. It's early in the season. You don't tend to see those really wild lines, just simply because we don't know. This is a great time to make hay if you're, a gambler, because the lines tend to be a little more scrunched. I'm going to take Baltimore. I don't think this game's close. I don't like Cleveland. Cleveland at this point looks like a team somebody assembled on Madden, and they just think it's going to work.
They didn't have enough points left over for quarterback.
Yeah, I mean it's not good. They're not a good team. I'll take Baltimore. I don't think this game's particularly close. I think Baltimore's going to show how good their defense is. I think they're going to run the ball a lot.
Cleveland or Baltimore?
A lot.
Okay. The Los Angeles Chargers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Are you going full on Bengals get the win in Joe Burrow's debut?
Yep, I am. Give me the kitty cats. I think the Bengals are going to expose the fact that without Derwin James, that Charger secondary is not great. Mm-hmm. I like Chris Hayward and Casey Hayward and I like Chris Harris. I think that's fine. There's nothing back behind them. And the way that Gus Bradley calls his defense, I think you're going to see some limitations that it has because they can't disguise anything. And that becomes problematic. When you have two inexperienced safeties back behind corners like that, you can't throw exotic blitzes, which you need to do to Joe Burrow because he's really smart. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take the Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals outright.
All right.
I think Joe Mixon's going to have a day.
The Chargers are a 3-point favorite in that game, and I don't know. I don't expect Joe Burrow to come out and look like the national champion quarterback that we saw at LSU. I think he's
going to come out and look really good.
I think there's growing pains in the NFL.
There's always growing pains. I'm not saying he's going to come out and look like Tom freaking Brady.
Right.
I'm saying he's going to come out and look better than Andy Dalton looked at any point last year, or Ryan Finley, and he's got great weapons. That defense has improved. Bengals.
I wonder how much the Chargers can get to Joe Burrow to shake him up, because that's got to be the goal. That's got to be the goal.
But you're going to see a lot of short passing games. Think about the Rams. Mm-hmm. When the Rams were really, in the beginning, when they went to the Super Bowl with, see his face, but I can't think of his name. Sean McVay. I think you're going to see a lot of short passing stuff. Get the ball, get guys in space, get the ball in their hands, see what they can do. Mm-hmm.
Bengals. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. The highlight of the 4 o'clock slate. On Sunday, New Orleans is a 3.5-point favorite.
I don't want to do this.
It's gut check time.
I don't want to do it.
I hear Ronnie, and Ronnie's also a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan.
I'm the
and I just
only
heard
not
a whoop whoop from off stage.
I'm the only not Bucs fan that's directly involved with how this comes on screen. Oh God, I don't want to do this. Saints. Mm-hmm. Saints win, Bucs cover. I think it's a close game. I don't think it's going to be the shootout people think it is either. This is going to be the game people load up on. I don't think this is the shootout you think it is.
I do. I think both quarterbacks are coming in ready to put on a show.
I don't disagree with that.
And I think New Orleans is going to be able to have so much success in their passing game
Let me put it
that the
this way.
Bucs are going to have to press to catch up.
Let me put it this way. The Sharps in Vegas make it very clear what they think. The over-under for this game's come down 3 points. That's a lot. Sharps agree with me. And I thought this before I even knew that. I just saw it. I don't look at lines until Sunday. I look at line movement on Sunday. I look at all on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I'll acknowledge it when it debuts and then let it go.
I
think this is a lower scoring game than people think it is.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree. I think there's going to be a lot of fireworks from Tom Brady and Drew Brees. And part of me wants to say this could be the game of the year in week 1. And then we'll do it again down the road.
Coming from the guy wearing a Tom freaking Brady jersey.
Exactly.
Stunner.
But New Orleans probably wins. The Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco's a 6.5-point favorite. Divisional matchup here. Kyler Murray, it's your chance. This is your chance, Jeremy. Kyler Murray finally will get to show us whether or not that and DeAndre Hopkins, the running game, all of it can make him MVP worthy.
Niners win, Cardinals cover. I think this is going to be a high. This is the shootout. The shootout that you're thinking happens in Tampa Bay, New Orleans. This is the shootout because the Cardinals are going to be able to score.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is they're not going to be able to stop San Francisco. Raheem Mostert might have 300 yards in this game. He's my favorite play on DraftKings, just to let you know.
They're going to eat him up with the running game. I absolutely agree with
They're
that.
going to get tired of watching Kyler Murray go up and down the field on them because they're damn near impossible to stop. And yes, I know there's a lot of intricacies to this offense. Kyler Murray moved the ball last year, and now he has a receiver unlike anybody he's ever had in his life. And he's got Larry Fitzgerald that can work in the slot, and Christian Kirk that can work in the slot, and all these other little weapons.
All right, and then the Sunday night game, Dallas and the LA Rams. How are you expecting this to work out?
This is another shootout. Cowboys to cover and win. I think there's going to be a lot of points. I think this is the Dallas and the Rams might be the game that you're thinking Tampa Bay, New Orleans is going to be.
Really?
In terms of really fun to watch, up and down the field, things happening. I think both of these teams are better than most fans do. I have more faith in the Cowboys, as evidenced by the fact I picked them to win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to be a really good game.
I think the Rams are a really good football team. I think Dallas is a really good football team. I think both defenses are really good, and I don't necessarily see the shootout here. I think this might be what you're thinking Tampa and New Orleans is going to be.
I'm not saying that
completely opposite sides here.
I'm not saying that Tampa and New Orleans is going to be 7-3. I'm saying
Right.
it's not going to be 38-35.
Mm-hmm.
I think this game could.
You think this one could be?
100%. I think this game could be. This could be a game where you forget who punts for these two teams. Not because I think a lot of the Rams offense and I think a lot of the Cowboys offense.
I'll give you $5 right now if you could tell me the punters for both of these teams.
Johnny Hecker is the punter for the Rams. The punter for the Cowboys is. Give me a minute.
Mm-hmm. Nope, time's up.
I'm going to think about this.
Time's up, money's off the table. I win.
I don't.
I thought about that before I said it. I was like, if there's one person that should know both of the punters, it's probably going to be him, but I'm going to say this anyway.
Now I want to know. Now I just realized I don't remember.
I don't know. To me, I don't think that the defenses that they bring out are going to be locked in a shootout game. I just don't see it. I think this is probably more of a struggle than that. But the over/under is 51.5. So,
Yep.
They have put it high to begin with, and Dallas is the 2-point favorite. All right, you want to talk Monday night?
Yeah.
All right, Pittsburgh and New York. First game
me
on
and
Monday
Vegas
night.
see this very similarly. Steelers are going to win this game by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Pittsburgh's 6-point favorite.
30-10. I mean, it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's going to show exactly what they can do. The Giants' secondary is bad. I think the Pittsburgh passing offense is going to look better than you're expecting it to because you had a year of Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges. Well, Ben's back with Juju and Deontay Johnson, who I think very highly of, and James Washington, who I like, and Eric Ebron. What I want to know, this is one of the worst run defenses you're going to see. I want to see if Pittsburgh can run the ball because that's my biggest aversion to Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they have a running back. James Conner, I think he's a decent piece. I don't think he's a 20-plus carry a game guy. And I don't think they have one of those.
Yeah. The Pittsburgh defense going up against Daniel Jones, I like that a lot for Pittsburgh. I really do. I don't think this game is close either, and Pittsburgh walks away with the win. Tennessee Titans and the Denver Broncos. That's going to be that's the late night game on Monday night. Tennessee is a 2-point favorite over the Denver Broncos.
This is one where I disagree with Vegas. Broncos open as a 1.5 point favorite. I'm going Broncos.
Full on.
Mm-hmm. I don't like that Cortland Sutton's most likely not going to play. That does bother me.
Mm-hmm.
Jarrell Casey revenge game. I'm not as nearly as big a narrative guy as he is,
True.
but I think Denver's going to have a really good defense, and I don't think Ryan Tannehill can take advantage of it.
Even without Vaughn.
Yeah, I mean, you still got Bradley Chubb.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they asked me to replace Von Miller.
This is true.
You don't have that impact pass rusher on that side like you did, but I still think this defense will be good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take Denver.
Denver in a close one. Field goal game? Or do you think they can score? They can win.
I think it
scores?
I think it could be close, but I would say it's probably a touchdown game.
Right.
If Cortland Sutton plays, I like him markedly better. But he has the AC sprain from yesterday that makes me think he's probably not going to play.
Yeah, if he doesn't play, I'm definitely on the Tennessee side of this.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton doesn't play defense, and that defense against Ryan Tannehill, yeah, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all the way in.
Also, this weekend, not only do we have the full week of the NFL, but it's also the first time that we get to see a lot of the Power 5 teams in college football. Last night, Miami got a win over UAB. There's not a whole lot. Yeah, Jeremy nailed that one. Although you did make it sound like it was going to be a huge blowout, and it was not quite the huge blowout.
No, they were comfortably. They comfortably covered.
Yeah.
UAB couldn't score. That was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Miami's not as good as people think they are. Derek King did not look particularly impressive. Miami's about what I thought they were.
Yeah. We will get our first look at the North Carolina Tar Heels. I'm excited about that.
That's a game that if I was loading doubloons in a truck just wanting to see if I could have two trucks, that would be a good one.
North Carolina Tar Heels taking on Syracuse. They are a big favorite in that ball game. Not nearly, though, as big of a favorite as the Clemson Tigers are going to Winston-Salem to take on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. What's it up to now?
It was at 35. I
Jeez.
haven't seen if it's
At the beginning of the week, it was 31, and I thought that was plenty big enough. At 35, how interested are you in taking Wake in the points? A lot. There's no real key, no real key games this weekend. There's no great matchups. I mean, the most competitive game we'll see might be Notre Dame and Duke. Right, because everybody else is like UNC's playing Syracuse. Syracuse is awful. Wake Forest is not good. They don't have their star wide receiver Sage Surratt. He's opted out for the season. They do have a good quarterback coming in, Sam Hartman, who returns to the starting quarterback position after he started his freshman year when Jamie Newman got hurt. Then Jamie Newman came back, started last year. Now Sam gets thrown back into the starting role. You got Texas and UTEP. It's not a
Texas
whole lot.
is a 43-point favorite in that game.
Yeah.
By the way,
There's not a whole lot of meat on that bone for this weekend as far as competitive games.
Yeah. It's football. Don't care.
Don't care. It's back.
Don't care. It's back. It's back, and I'm happy.
That's right. We're used to kicking off the college football season with at least a couple of big-time matchups, but obviously that didn't happen. This is a very weird year, and we are going to see actual, real college football, though, kicking off on Saturday, and I can't wait for it. Also, last night, just to kind of recap, Serena lost in the U.S. Open, which, I mean, it's a name. She was the only one that anybody really cared about, I think. The Lakers went up 3-1 on the Houston Rockets with a 10-point win.
Yeah, that series is over.
Mm-hmm.
Double LA in the Western Conference Finals, and that's the title series. Winner of that wins the title.
Yeah, yesterday was just a weird day altogether. It was the first day in history we had every sport playing at the same time,
which was cool.
You had the NBA, the WNBA, the NHL, MLS, the NFL. It was all going on. College football, all of it happening at the same time. But tonight you've got Game 7 of the Boston Celtics and the Toronto Raptors, and we'll see if that scrappy team from the North.
I'm just looking for, please God, Celtics win so I don't have to hear the word scrappy ever again. These scrappy Raptors.
This has become my new favorite thing to get under Jeremy's skin, much like the TBT. It's my one thing that I get to bring up every show that he just goes, ugh. You're all in on the Celtics.
Let's go.
All
Celtics.
in on the Celtics. All in on the Celtics to win Game 7 tonight of that series. It is here. Football season is here, and that's about the coverage that you're going to get on the NBA and the like throughout the rest of the rest of the fall.
Yeah, when the finals happen and they give a trophy out, we'll go, yay,
yeah.
Football.
Unless somehow it ends up being the Denver Nuggets, and then you'll be a little
then I'll be insufferable. It's not going to happen, but if it did happen, I would be insufferable.
Right. Well, don't forget to stay with us here in the Sportsocracy, not only this program, but also we are going to be starting next week all of the fantasy football tips and things throughout the week. You're going to have all those episodes to tune in for. Also live on Sunday mornings right here from the Social in East Asheville at 10 a.m. We will be doing our Set Your Lineup show and all your betting picks.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to have something money related in the title. I haven't come up with it yet.
Right.
If anybody has any ideas, I like ideas. But I'm really looking forward to that show. The Sunday morning, I'm probably going to look a little worse for the wear, just so we're all clear. Because what comes before Sunday morning? Saturday night.
That's right.
There you go.
Do we have a winner for this week's Comment of the Week contest?
Touching tips. Holy shit, that might be my favorite.
Did that just take the cake at the
Maybe,
last second?
It's the same guy that won last week.
Oh, it can't happen. We can't do that.
Oh boy, that hit me in a fun place.
Comment of the Week prize pack this week not only includes merch from the Sportsocracy merch store, which you can find the link to in the description of this video, but also a gift certificate to O2 Nutrition. Comment of the Week, we can't go with that one.
Because that guy won last week, but we might, your prize might be the name of the show on Sunday. I'm gonna push for it really hard.
So, Comment of the Week, do you have a winner?
I'm not the one that draws winners.
You don't know the winner?
Nope.
All right, well, we'll post who the winner of this week's comment contest is. Don't forget, every week we have the prize pack all on the line for the Comment of the Week. And this week's gift pack includes a gift certificate to O2 Nutrition. We appreciate their partnership in this program and moving forward as well. Starting at 10 a.m. on Sunday is the Get Ready for Fantasy Football betting show.
Touching tips. I'm calling it right now. Holy good gracious, that makes me happy.
I like it. Okay. Touching tips right here at 10 a.m. Sunday morning. And then, of course, we will have we will be here at the Social in East Asheville all day long, or at least, well, I'll be here until at least 8 o'clock when
we'll be here. We'll be here through part of the 4 o'clock games. I'd say we'll be here through probably halftime of the 4 o'clock games.
Right. Every Sunday, you can join us here at the Social in East Asheville. We'll be doing trivia contests, hanging out, and just making fun of people that are in the crowd. It's gonna be a blast. Just hanging out here, drinking, watching football, as men should do. So I mean, you can bring the ladies. Bring the ladies.
Everyone should do.
Everyone.
We should. You should get a bandana for your dog of your favorite team because your dog should be watching football.
All right, it's going to be a fun football season. We can't wait, and we'll be back with you this afternoon on ESPN Asheville. You can see it or hear it everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. 3 o'clock for the Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene. That'll do it for us in the Sportsocracy for this morning. We'll see you on Sunday for Touching Tips. It's just